There's many Links when it comes to Machinima, but I think Dark Link has always been used with more creativity when it comes to writing. Junior's when it comes to intangibility, Chronicles of Brawl's Dark Link is a completely different entity with its own agenda. Smash Kings is simply a Link tired of being heavily relied on when it comes to heroic responsibilities, etc. But I think Brawl Universe's Dark Link is the most interesting. There's so much lore and mystery behind this character, and he's easily one of my favorite characters when it comes to Smash Machinima. So I wanted to take a few minutes to dissect his mindset and possibly spectate on where he's heading as a character. With the inclusion of Young Link in Smash Ultimate and Hedge's recent series Remnants of Smash taking place in the future of Brawl Universe, the next time we see him might not be as far off as we think. So let's get down to it. For my other fellow timestamp fans, the first time we get to see Dark Link is actually in episode 4, but we get most of his backstory in episode 7, so I'm going to be bouncing all over the place. Stick with me. Back in the world of Melee, before he became a revenge-driven villain, he was happy-go-lucky Timothy. Tim seemed to be the type looking to help others and trying to fit in with the crowd as much as possible. He didn't get much respect. Being a younger clone version of Link, people often made fun of him and treated him as an outcast. One of the nights, the board of original Smash fighters, with a few add-ons, were having a meeting in regards to the Brawl world. I'm not 100% sure on what details were being discussed due to Remember the Melee episode 2 not being out yet, but the end result was the knowledge being out there that the time to move on to the next world was coming, and at some point people were going to be left behind. Tim was eavesdropping on the meeting, finding out that he's one of those people, and he was very upset. I'm not sure why the select characters were left back, but if I'm able to speculate, it'd be due to the tier list system. Remember the Melee episode 1, during the meeting, Falco addressed Fox as the leader. He stated that the creators Master Hand and Crazy Hand gave him this title due to how he handled the Ganon situation.
Whoa, time out here. How did Fox get that kind of position?
Oh, you didn't hear? The creators appointed him as top of the class ever since the whole Ganondorf fiasco.
And now that I have your attention, it's time we get busy to some important matters at hand.
Since this was held in Melee, I have no idea what the situation was, but maybe we'll find out sometime in the future. Tim, Dr. Mario, and Pichu must have been the weakest in the group as a whole when dealing with this problem, resulting in them being in the bottom of the tier list. As for Roy and Mewtwo, they were created literally days before this meeting, so they were automatically counted out, due to not knowing their true potential. Anyways, getting back to Tim. Going through the self-battle on how to approach the situation knowing he'd be left back, he decided to approach Zelda during one of their hangouts. Zelda was one of the few individuals who Timothy considered as a friend. He eventually broke his silence and revealed to her that he knew that he'd be left back. Zelda attempted to make him feel better and promised him that they would see each other again. Now obviously she didn't believe that, but she wanted to be a good friend and soften the wounds that she had no control over.
Promise me we'll see each other again.
Alright then, it's a deal.
Really? Really?
If you can find me first in a game of hide and seek.
You promise?
A promise is a promise.
The events in between this moment and the transition are unknown to the audience, but I do have a theory what possibly happened. There's a huge possibility that another meeting happened with everyone letting Tim, Mewtwo, Roy, Dr. Mario, and Pichu know that they'd be left back. At some point during this situation, Tim exposed that he was aware of what was going on, and probably furious along with the others. Zelda in this situation probably defends Tim, leaving her in a bad light. Zelda was also good friends with people like Mewtwo and Pichu, so I can see her speaking up for the others. In regular Link fashion, he wanted to protect Zelda so she didn't get negatively affected. So Link maybe talked down to Tim in front of everyone, leaving him vulnerable. Everyone at this point probably takes Link's side, and the heat comes off of Zelda's back.
You know, all I wanted to do was help. I only wanted to help. And what do? You shunned me, embarrassed me in front of everyone.
I was only trying to protect Zelda. And you call yourself help? You practically ruined everything. You got in the way.
Aw, Link. Always so brash and honest. And that's exactly the type of attitude that separated everyone.
Tim leaves the situation an even bigger outcast than he already was, shunned by his role model Link in front of everyone, losing his only friend Zelda, and left emotionally traumatized and upset. If we fast forward a bit, Mewtwo comes up with his plan to get into Brawl and plot his revenge on the others. He recruits Roy and older Timothy to join him as he fulfills his plan. Tim probably has doubts at first, but eventually agrees to join Mewtwo. When Mewtwo figures out how to get into the other world, Tim is changed in the transition process, leaving him with a darker physical appearance and new powers. He goes by a new name at this point and calls himself Dark Link. Again, this is all a theory, so let's just get back into the canon. Dark Link at this point in the story doesn't do much. He's seen behind the scenes, allowing Mewtwo to do whatever he wants. Mewtwo recruits people like Bowser, Ganon, Midna, Dark Samus, and others to work under as his underlings. Since Ganon has so many Robs left over from the subspace debacle, they still come in as use, as numbers. Mewtwo gives them all missions to carry out so his revenge plan can go smoothly. Dark Link seems not to be very active on terms of tasks, so he does whatever he wants until he finds out that Roy defeated Link and he's now under their custody. Dark Link takes it upon himself to confront Link for the first time in years. Link doesn't recognize him at first, but eventually figures out it's Tim. Dark Link attempts to take the high road, antagonizing Link, but when Link uses his real name and brings up Zelda, he breaks his character and gets very emotional.
Young Link? Timothy? Is that you?
So you do remember. Just like I knew you would. Man, it's been so long, hasn't it? You've really grown, haven't you?
What the hell happened to you?
Crazy, isn't it? Just look at us, Link. We're identical. Except for me, though. I guess you can say I'm a little bit more on the darker side.
He rants on how he was treated and how he doesn't forgive anyone for how he was shunned and left behind. He leaves Link hinting that he's going to find Zelda and quote-unquote catch up with her. I'm not sure what he meant by this, if it was in a negative or positive light, but judging by their history, I'd assume positive. I'm very curious on how this encounter will go, because Tim has far gone and he's not the same person. I really wonder if Zelda's going to be more accepting of him and try to convert him, or will she be afraid of this new Dark Link? But that's all we know of Dark Link so far. He's definitely one of my favorite characters when it comes to Smash Machinima, and Brawl Universe is a fantastic series. If you guys enjoy these breakdown videos and you want more of these, please like, comment, and subscribe. Comment some characters that you guys want to see breakdown videos for, and I will do my best. Until, see you soon. Isaiah out.